What's up? I'm Dan Fredenberg, and this is another Chance Encounter.
Hey, what's up? I'm Dan Fredenberg. I'm a commercial real estate guy. I'm from the internet. We're seeing more properties like this being built in front of a house that's going to be torn down soon.
I understand that there are power lines that are getting kind of close.
What's up again? This is Dan Fredenberg, and that there is a commercial real estate building.
I'm joined today with William. Is it Spekhardt? Is that how you pronounce that?
Yes, that's correct.
All right, awesome. And I'm also joined with my very favorite audience member. And why is my favorite audience member here? It's because this is a chance encounter where I interview commercial real estate investors. And why do I do that? Well, part of it's because it's the law, but really what it's about is you have to meet people who are in your industry to find out if there's any overlap for your business. So you need to find out, so what exactly is it you do? And the way I find that out is with the Dan Does Deals commercial roll die, which you can get, oddly enough, at dandoesdeals.com. It's totally free. I don't ask for your email address, which is a really stupid thing to do from a marketing perspective. But really, I want you to print it out so you can talk to your friends and family and effectively communicate on the subject of commercial real estate. But before we get too excited about that, William, can you please introduce yourself to the audience?
Yeah, good morning. My name is William Spekhardt. I'm a commercial real estate investor and agent, and our team and I invest in B and C class properties, typically in San Diego and the Florida markets. We're interested in multifamily storage facilities and RV parks. We're always looking for new members or investors, and if you know anyone or you yourself are interested, then definitely reach out after this.
All right, sweet. So let's go to our first question then. The first question, it has to do with risk. It's a little bit unusual of a question. It's a fill in the blanks one. The sentence is, there are many popular investment asset classes, but I think blank is too risky. What comes to mind as far as a popular investment asset that you think is too risky, William?
I would say anything that would be in like a C minus or D class neighborhood. There's just too much work and too much, areas for improvement.
Yep, that makes lots of sense. So let's go on to the motivation part. The reason why I spend so much time on the motivation part is because sometimes I'm interviewing newbies and they know why they're doing it, but they don't necessarily know what role they're going to be doing. So I go through those just to make them really clear. The first motivation that some people have is preservation of purchasing power. That means you already have a portfolio of assets, and probably you rely on the cash flow that comes from those assets to make your ends meet. And the problem, though, that will happen, especially in times right now with high inflation, is you need to make more acquisitions just to make ends meet, to keep that cash flow paying your bills. That is not my priority right now. That's not really what I'm up to. What I am up to is trading time directly for wealth. I've got a background in technology, specifically marketing and e-commerce, and I own an agency that is for CRMs. So that's your emails and your segmentation, all that kind of stuff. But the problem of having a high paying, wage, salary tech job is that you're paying more in tax than anybody else. Income tax is what it is. And so it hit me as like, why don't I get to thinking, how can I multiply my wealth in the form of equity and skip that step? How can I become a partner and actually build equity in that way? So that's what I'm up to. But a lot of people, this just actually skipped a slide. A lot of people, what they're up to is they want to get control of their time. Okay, so maybe they are actually looking for retirement. I think that you have to be in real estate to some degree just to even leave that door open in most careers. But if you're looking to fast track your retirement or take control of your time, maybe it's working fewer months per year, maybe it's fewer weeks per month. Who knows what it is? But it's that shifting down and doing less that these guys are after. But that's different from the next two. The next one, they're just plain ambitious. They love that generational wealth. They want to buy their entire hometown, and they don't want their great grandchildren to ever have to hold down a day job. So they're wonderful because they're going to be hustling and working for their partners until they drop. But the last group, I like to say that they're trying to save the world in some way. But to be more specific, These people are making commercial investments because they realize you need that financial backing if you want to have a real impact on a sector of society. You know, some people, they're more interested in helping animals or the environment or sending people into space. Who knows what it is? But you have to have that real financial backing. And owning a bunch of commercial property is one of the best ways to do that. So, William, of those 5 different motivations, what really jumps out to you? What motivates you? What combination of those really sounds most like you?
I would say the last one, helping people who need it. That's the end game. Once I've created my own wealth and success, then I really enjoy giving back and teaching people how to do the same thing. So it's kind of a motivating factor for me, at least.
Beautiful. So that's why you do it. So let's talk about the actual roles then. Don't forget, dandoesdeals.com is where you can download and print out your own copy. But let's go through these right from the start to make sure that you know how to communicate on the subject of commercial real estate effectively. So let's first talk about what a repositioner is. A repositioner is looking at a bunch of different properties because they're doing an acquisition sort of role. And that means they're also talking to a bunch of sellers. So what are they doing with all of this paperwork? Well, there's a fancy word for it. It's called underwriting. Okay. So they're doing the math. Okay. They're figuring out, first of all, is this property even making the amount of money that the seller claims it is? And so they're looking at a bunch of different properties to figure out which one works. But the repositioning side of repositioner means they're thinking, how can I change this property so that I can actually make more money than it is right now? And the simplest way to get a good advantage on your building is more advantageous lending from your financiers. Financiers are people who just deal with money and paper, but who knows, that it's more of a commodity thing. You might not have that play. So traditionally, a repositioner's first way to find more upside is with more efficient operations. You cut those costs, you stop those Benjamins from going down the toilet. But of course, operations is more than just unclogging toilets and mowing lawns and collecting rent and taking out trash. There's also some of my fortes like marketing. And the nice thing about marketing in an operations setting is it's keeping the vacancy rate very low. And that's very important. I also help with automation and programming and all that kind of stuff as well. But operations, it's probably not enough to really move the needle enough for the purchase. So often the repositioner needs to get a contractor team to fix the place up, to do the value add, to renovate the place. And then that way people will pay more to rent those units than they would beforehand. But if the repositioner has the same problem that I have, which is, see, I'm from the internet. And so what that means is that I need a local. I need boots on the ground. I need somebody who can be there in an hour or two, because it'll probably take me an hour or two just to deal with the airport. So that's not going to be me. And these guys, they seem like the owners of the buildings, of the properties. But of course, the financiers, they're also part owners as well, even though they're only dealing with paper and money. But if a repositioner finds, let's say it's a 350 unit apartment complex worth tens of millions of dollars, and they're turning around to a financier saying, hey, I need you to lend me, say, tens of millions of dollars to pick up this property. Well, one thing that the financier is going to want to know that I haven't mentioned yet is, who's your KP? Who's your main sponsor? And what that's all about, some coaching programs will skip over, they'll gloss over this one, but to be eligible for a loan, for these commercial loans, somebody in the fold has to already own a similar asset. So if you're trying to get a loan on a 350 unit apartment complex, you're not going to be eligible unless you have somebody in the fold who owns a similar asset. You're also going to need a certain amount of liquidity. And then you're also, between the GP team, you're going to need a balance sheet of at least the amount of the loan. But if you have all those pieces, you've got yourself a commercial real estate deal. So William, as far as your core competencies that you're looking to contribute to your deals, what exactly do you do?
Sure. So for me, it's going to be that operations piece and asset management. Dealing in markets where I'll have control and contribute value add to each property, and then running it and managing the property management to increase the value to our investors there. But across that spectrum of roles, our team can accomplish much more than that. So we have people who do the underwriting, and then we're always looking for more capital raisers and investors. So we can accomplish a lot in a lot less time, so to speak.
Great, awesome. And then as far as the ideal properties go, just so you know, when commercial investors are talking to each other and they're saying, "Hey, what's your buy box? What's your ideal property? What's easier to say yes to, more difficult to say no to?" They're really asking about three things. The first one's geography. So, like which states, or possibly which counties, or possibly which neighborhoods. They say location, 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 because traffic, population density, that's how you make money regardless of what you're up to. So geography is the first thing. Second thing is the size of the deal, and we're talking about multifamily, and multifamily is the same as retail and office and self-storage and mobile home parks, where the way that you judge the size is based on the unit count. If you're talking about industrial or warehousing, then they're talking square footage, but you need to know the size of the deal, and people will focus in different sizes. So you need to know the geography and the size. But the third thing, they call it class, and unfortunately, that means two different things, even though they use the same word. The first usage of the word class is the condition of the building. So is it old and decrepit and beat up, or is it brand new, immaculate, and luxurious? And the other meaning of class is the area that the property's in, and that has to do with the crime rate, the school districts that the property's in, things like that. And both of those meanings of class use the same rating system like grade schools. We like C- or B+, and so on. So William, as far as a property where if it fell in your lap, it's exactly what you're looking for, what sounds really good to you? You mentioned some of the stuff about San Diego. So what you looking for?
Yeah, for a San Diego property, something that would fit what we're looking for is a C-class property in a B-class neighborhood. That's going to give us the ability to contribute the most to that and then get an exponential growth to our investors. So for San Diego, it's going to be a little bit on the smaller end just because the property prices are a little higher. And then for the Florida markets, same deal, C-class property and B-class neighborhood, but maybe a few more units because of the cost of properties in Florida.
Beautiful, beautiful. So then my next question would be about the people and who you can help. Me personally, I mentioned it before, I'm always looking to meet more sponsors and KPs, and that's because of my marketing and my digital background. You need to have some sort of foundation before I can really make a huge difference, as opposed to just any old grunt. So I'm always on the look for sponsors and KPs. That's who I can help disproportionately. And that's the best part about commercial real estate, is because there are all these different roles and nobody is all of them for any real amount of time. We're all really helpful. But William, if you have any 506B deals going on, you're not allowed to entice investors, whatever that means. But as far as the roles on the die, who are you disproportionately able to help in this business? Who are you looking to talk to?
I think we can provide the most value to our investors and to the key principles. Once we get a property under contract, we get the investor capital that we need, we're going to be able to turn that around and provide the value and then increase their wealth. Hopefully, over promise and under deliver, or under promise and over deliver. But yeah, I think those are the people we can help most. So it's just going to be the investors, people working with us, and then even the tenants, right? So what we're looking into is creating more VASH housing for veterans. So it's basically homeless veterans. San Diego is the second largest city for homeless vets. So with some of these properties, what we're looking to do is provide more available housing for them. And it's kind of like a win-win for everyone.
Yep, yeah, I absolutely love that. So that's the person who you're best, the people who you're best suited to help. So the next thing would be the best way to reach out to you. I met you on a webinar, and we caught up and connected through LinkedIn. That's a fantastic way to reach me. Is there a website that's better, or is LinkedIn the best way? How should people reach out?
I think LinkedIn's a great tool. As you mentioned, it's got some great features. I also have Instagram is at Hammerstone Estates, and then we have a website, hammerstoneestates.com.
Beautiful. And the only thing I have left then, it's actually not for you, William, it's for you in the audience, which is there's something it's a very serious problem. It's if you look under my left hand, you'll see on your screen there's this big ugly red button, and it's embarrassing. If somebody looks over your shoulder and sees that big ugly red button, they'll be like serious, like really, and it hurts my eyes to even look at it. And the way that you get rid of that awful red button is you just click on it, and it's totally free. And the thing that I like about that is it means that maybe one of these days, hopefully, YouTube will start paying for these videos instead of me. That's what I really want out of it, if I'm being full disclosure. But of course, you don't have to. You don't. There's no credit card involved. There's no emails required or anything like that. And what it actually does, if you subscribe, is it means my videos might show up on your list of suggestions. But you can go ahead and ignore them. That's perfectly fine. I just really appreciate the fact that you spent the time watching us and joining us today. And just like William, it's been fantastic getting to know you better. This has really been a treat.
Yeah, thanks, Dan. Appreciate your time, man. If there's anything I can do to help with your stuff and your business, let me know. Always happy to help.
Awesome. Thanks. Bye. Click.
Make sure you 506B me. Any syndicators, make sure you 506B me.
Hi.
Oh, hey, yeah, here's my code. You got your QR code scanner? Okay, yeah, oh yeah, just hold it right in the square there. Okay, cool. And now you hit open in browser.
Okay.
Okay, are you already logged into 506B me?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, so there's my video. So now I'm already on your watch list. So when you get back to your hotel, you can find out what my core competencies are and my level of sophistication. Sound good?
Yeah.
I love your hat. Real estate's a scam. That's really funny.
Yeah.
Nice meeting you.
You too.
506B me, everybody.